So just another little short update on progress on the N-gauge layout I've started doing using the gradient hollow baseboards. This track plan, I've borrowed it from the set track plan book, and it's loosely based on this one. I'm basically using the plan from the upper deck, and as you'll see, I've rotated it 180 degrees. That is plan number 23 in this plan book, the twin level urban layout. So there's that. What I've been working on with the actual track itself is making sure that the points don't foul with any of the joins where I've got some strengthening bars underneath. So for example here, the throw bar on this point is about 2 inches away from that join there. Same with that point that's far enough away. Also, where my two baseboards bolt together, I've made sure that the only track I've got going across the join is straight track, which I'm intending to cut across. On the actual layout itself, it's going to have a raised bit at the back there. You can just about see one of the retaining walls in the back there, which is a bit of a placeholder. So there'll be a whole upper deck at the back there. Not sure exactly where yet, but I've got a couple of buildings dotted around to start with. This end here, where you see the two curved tracks leading away from the station, going around here, they will lead to a fiddle yard, which I've yet to design. Just got to design how many tracks and sidings I'm going to need. For the side of the layout, I shouldn't need too many. I've also started to plan where I'm going to be putting some signals. I'm hoping to use the dapole semaphore signals, as in the starting signals, home signals, and possibly a distance signal, although if I was working to scale, a distance signal wouldn't actually be anywhere on this layout because it'd be too far away. But I'm thinking that the signals are going to need to be somewhere around about here. As I've read up, you usually have home signals just before the station throat, so they'll be around this area here somewhere as well. And at the end of the tracks here, where I'll have some buffers, I'm going to be using the Train Tech buffer lights on there as well. That's the wayside station at the moment, but I'm still deciding whether I want to use that one or the mainline station, which I've about 90% finished building. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update, show you what we've been doing on my layout so far. Because I've got so many Metcalfe buildings that I would like to include on this layout, but obviously for size reasons I can't include everything, I've had the idea of including 3 different dioramas over this end, which would double up as a removable lid to be able to access these 2 tracks underneath there in case of derailments. 2 tracks, ones that would lead off to my fiddle yard. Dioramas I'm thinking of is a church scene. You can see the church I've already built a while ago, which I'll be able to use. Also a farm scene where I'll be able to build all my Metcalfe farm buildings, which I haven't touched yet. And also a third scene would be the N-gauge castle, also from Metcalfe, which I've started but haven't finished yet. So that'll allow me to use more of my buildings on the layout. Got a couple of buildings just dotted on the layout at the minute, dotted around. These aren't the final positions, although the signal box will probably go there because it's right near the points. Down this end here, I've got a couple of buildings dotted down there. Wayside station at the moment, like I mentioned a second ago. And just a row of terraced houses, just ideas to what I can put on there. But I don't want to overcrowd the layout, so I'll still decide what's going to be going on there. But yeah, that's progress so far. Hopefully I can start pinning down the track now as well. Now I've got a rough idea of the actual layout I'm using.